So today I'm really focusing hard on learning and growing whenever I'm getting a chance during the day. And thankfully it is helping. I just watched a YouTube TEDx video, which was on my workbook. It was referred. It's called Overcoming Rejection When People Hurt You and Life Isn't Fair by Daryl Stinson. It's 13 minutes and 6 seconds. It was really, really amazing. I saved it for later also. It made me think how Steve Jobs said once that when we look ahead, we can never connect the dots. When we look back, that is when the dots can be connected. It's said in a better way. I actually want to say it the way it is. It's been a while I used that quote, and that is my favorite quote ever. So I'm gonna Steve Jobs connecting the dots quote. I want to read it exactly the way. Okay. Yeah, he said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. I just want to read it again for me so that it sinks in. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. When life throws at you lots of difficult things and rejections and whatnot, and you end up losing hope, and sometimes you may gain the hope back for a little bit, but then again it slips, and it is hard to keep going, but you gotta keep going, and eventually, after a while, sometimes it could be few weeks, few months, or years, and then it will make sense of it all, because you will see that how something bad happened, and because of that bad thing, you learn new things, you grew, or something better happened. In this TED Talk, he talks about how rejection could be a projection from others, their feelings or emotions that they're going through, that it might be because of that they're rejecting you, or use the rejection to help yourself. He uses a sentence, rejection is a catalyst for massive success. I wrote it down. I thought it was really amazing, because a lot of time those rejections are the things that propels us forward to that rage, or that sadness or anger or resentment, whatever that is. It's almost like a Newton's law, where the bad thing kind of works as a good for us to keep going forward, to prove, even though it's like we don't necessarily have to prove to those people, but it helps us to keep growing. So for our massive success, sometimes that actually does help. And another point he mentions I thought was really good is rejection is a protection. And protection is sometimes, even if it's a job or something, you are around in a certain place, and I definitely had a situation happening. I remember where at workplace where things were working okay and not that great, and then I switched jobs, and at that point I felt like situations were not good, where there was some partiality or something was going on, but it ended up eventually being better for me because not soon after, soon after that, the company got bought by other company. But anyway, so things like that happen. So right away it may not make sense, but over time you figure out that what happens is for your good. But again, it goes back to our thinking, right? The fact and the fiction. As our mind goes in cycles and thinks different thing, the same fact can be looked at it differently. And I think this is a really good way to look at the rejections or the unfortunate events that happen in our life, how that shapes us, how that helps us to grow. At the very end, he also, in the TEDx talk, he brings up, because Steve Jobs' quote is really my favorite quote, so it stuck with me, where he says, I wonder if Apple would be the most valuable company in the world if Steve Jobs was not rejected from his own company. So Steve Jobs' style of leadership, I don't know, I wouldn't completely follow that because I think he used to get a little too obsessed, but at the same time he did invent new things, touchscreen, whatnot, changed the way how the world operates. But when it comes to leadership style, I think I like more of Richard Branson's style. But that's a different story altogether. But the main point is remembering that the quote that I was reading earlier is that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. So it's my favorite quote, but I forgot. I'm glad that today when I was doing this exercise for my emotions, and also reading the positivity book from Norman Vincent Peale, all of that is getting me back in that thought process, and I'm so grateful for that, because it is so easy to spiral down in your thoughts, but you have to keep pushing forward. I think it was last week or the week before where I kind of had to push myself physically to go to the gym, and then that helped me to get back on track. And today I really tried to push myself with these books, so that emotionally I kind of get back into the positive zone, and I'm so grateful that it is helping, at least helping so far. So I'm going to take a few deep breaths and finish the video. I can still smell the incense.